Alright, so lesson 10.2, we're going to be looking at measures of variability. So measures of variability are used to describe the distribution of a set of data. So one measure of variability is the range. The range of a set of data is the difference between the greatest and least values of the set. So it describes whether the data is spread out or if it's clustered together. Okay, so the range is pretty simple, straightforward. I think you guys will catch on pretty quickly, but we're going to take a look at some examples here and then build on that a little bit. So you want to find the range of each data set. So again, the range is the greatest value minus the smallest value. Okay, just as a reminder for you guys, I would write that down. And our greatest value here in this dot plot would be 58 minus my smallest value, in this case 33. So that's going to give me a range of 25. So my range there is 25. That's it. I'm done. So now I want to find the range for the cost in dollars of DVDs, which are 20, 25, 15, 16, 10, and 9. So again, we take our greatest value, which is 25, and our smallest value, which is 9. So 25 minus 9. That's going to give me a range of 16. Now we're going to be looking at quartiles. So in a set of data, the quartiles are the values that divide the data into 4 equal parts. Recall that the median of a set of data separates the set in half. Okay, so if we're looking at this, it's kind of a dot plot, but not really with the x's. They're using x's instead of dots. But our median in this case is 20, and we have our lower half of the data, and we have our upper half of the data. Okay, so to find our first quartile, or Q1, the median of the lower half of a set of data is our first quartile, or Q1. Okay, so if you notice in our lower half here, we have five x's, which represent the 5 numbers. We have 12, 13, 14, 16, and 18. So we want to take the median of those 5 numbers, and in this case it would be 14 would be our median there. So that would be our Q1. Now if we want to find our median of the upper half or of a set of data, and that's our third quartile. Okay, so the median of the upper half of the data is our third quartile, or Q3. Again, notice there's 5 x's here, just like there were on the lower half of the data. When you're splitting this data up into the lower half and the upper half, they have to have the same amount of numbers on each half. Okay, one half can't have 4 and the other half has 6. They have to have the same amount of numbers or points on each half. Okay, so to find our third quartile here, we're going to take the median of our upper half, which in this case is going to be this point here, which is 25. Okay, so our Q3 would be 25 there. So if we want to let's look at a couple examples. So identify the first quartile and the third quartile in the following set of data. So we have our set of data there. The first thing we want to do to find the first quartile and the third quartile, we want to rearrange the data from least to greatest. So I have 35, and I'm crossing them off as I'm going through, just so I know what numbers I used: 80, 100, 110, 120, 120. There's 2 of them, so I have to make sure I write both. 170 and 180. Okay, so I cross off all my numbers. I know I used all of them. So first things first, I want to find my median of this data set. If you want to cross off the numbers until you get to median, that's from each side until you get the median, that's fine, you can do that. Or if you're able to just spot what the median is right away just by looking, you can do that as well. So I know that the median in this case is going to be these 2 numbers here. I have 120 and 110 because I have the same amount of numbers on each side. So to find my median, do 110 plus 120 all over 2. And that's going to give me a median of 115. Okay, so my median is going to be right here in between 110 and 120. So now we want to find our Q1 and Q3. Okay, so to do that, we first have to box off our lower half of the data. So my lower half of the data in this case is going to be these 4 numbers here. Okay, so it's on the left side of the median, and my upper half is going to be on the right side of the median. So it's going to be these 4 numbers here. Again, notice I have the same amount of numbers in both my upper half and my lower half. I have 4 numbers. So to find my Q1, I have to take the median of the lower half of the set of data, okay? So I'm looking at these 4 numbers. I know I'm not going to have one specific value right away, so we'll highlight it instead, actually. So I know these 2 numbers are in the middle, so I have to find them, add them and divide by 2, so I have 80 plus 100, all divided by 2, and that's going to give me a Q1 of 90. Okay, so my Q1 there would be 90. Now if I want to find Q3, take the median of the upper half. Again, there's no specific value here, so I have to add these 2 together and divide by 2. So I have 120 plus 170 all over 2, and that's going to give me 145. So my Q3 in this case would be 145. Okay, so I found my Q1 and my Q3. Now we're going to look at interquartile range. So the interquartile range is the range of the middle half of a set of data. It is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. Okay, so to find the interquartile range, all we do is subtract our Q1 from our Q3. Okay, so our Q1 minus our Q3. So we want to find the IQ of the following set of data. So first things first, again, we have to order them from least to greatest. So we have 0, 24, 31, 32, 34, 35, 38, 39, and 61. Okay, so now I need to find the median of that set of data. My median in this case is going to be 34. So I'll write that down. And now we need to identify our lower half of the data, which numbers are included in our lower half and which numbers are included in our upper half. So my lower half of the data is going to be these 4 numbers here, because again,
please, Ms. Milliron, please
my
call the
median
main
is right
office.
here.
Ms. Milliron, to the main office.
My upper half is going to be these 4 numbers. Now I now have to find my Q1 and my Q3. So my Q1 is going to be median of the lower half of the data. In this case, I have 2 numbers, so I have to add and divide by 2. So I have 24 plus 31 all over 2, and that's going to give me 27.5. Okay. Now my Q3, median of the upper half of the data. In this case, again, it's 2 numbers. So I have to add them and divide by 2. 38 plus 39 all divided by 2. And I get 38.5. Now I found my Q1 and my Q3. To find my IQR, it's, remember, Q3 minus Q1. Okay? So my Q3 I know is 38.5 minus 27.5. And that's going to give me an IQR of 11. Okay? So I found my IQR of the following set of data. Now, the last thing we want to talk about is outliers. So, data that are more than 1.5 times the value of the inner quartile range beyond the quartiles are called outliers. Okay, outliers are a data value. It's much larger, much smaller than the median. All right. So, if we want to find any outliers in this set of data. So first things first, we need to find the IQR. Okay. Before I identify what my Q1 and Q3 are, I want to identify my median. I'm just going to abbreviate in this case here. But my median here is going to be 30. So my Q1 is going to be the median of this first half of the data. So Q1 is going to be 15. And my Q3 is going to be my median of the upper half of the data, in this case 35. Okay, so find our IQR again. IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So we have our Q3 in this case is going to be 35 minus our Q1, which is 15. And that's going to give me an IQR of 20. So my IQR is 20. So now I want to multiply the interquartile range by 1.5. Okay, so I found my IQR. 20 times 1.5. We'll make this a dot instead, just so we're not confused. It's not an X. 20 times 1.5. That's going to give me that would give me 30. Okay, so finally, to find if we have any outliers, we want to subtract 30 from the first quartile and add 30 to the third quartile, okay? Because we found our point, we found what our IQR was, we have to multiply it by 5, and we're going to take that number and subtract it from the first quartile and add it to the third quartile. So Q1 we know is 15. I'm going to subtract that 30 that we just found from 15. That's going to give me negative, or no, I'm sorry. Other way around. We have to do 30 minus 15. Okay, I'm getting all screwed up here. So we want to subtract 30 from the first quartile. So my first quartile is 15. And we just found that it was 30. That's going to give me negative 15. Then we want to add 30 to the third quartile. So we have 35 plus 30. That's going to give me 65. Okay? So that tells me anything less than negative 15 is an outlier, and anything greater than 65 is an outlier. So if we look at our graph over there, we notice that we have a value greater than 65, and that's 70. So our outlier would be 70.